Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hi, we're here. It's that week where we normally aren't doing a show, but we're doing a show. Ha ha! Normally after the stream week, we take the week off, but you guys...
Can't do that no more.
You guys have made us too popular. We can't do that anymore. No more vacations for us. No more breaks. This is it, man. No breaks. We're going off the cliff whether you like it or not. So here we go.
But we will do as much as we can because you people demand it, and we are so thankful that you do.
Yes. We have many questions.
Well, right now we've got a whole bunch of priority questions to get through, so let's do it.
Yes. Let's go for it. And we're going to get started off with this one from Alvamon or Yukin. Shard versus Scourge. Who wins? This is a very versus heavy episode, by the way. Just so you know, guys know what you're in for.
Confrontational questions in the BumbleKast? Get out! Waka waka!
Power scaling questions. Yay, everyone's favorite.
It would be a fun fight to be sure. But if I were plotting it out, I'd have to give it to Scourge. No offense to Shard. He's my boy. I love him. He's a lot of fun. But he's a Metal Sonic deep down. He has a terrible track record fighting Sonics, and Scourge is a Sonic. So Scourge would eventually dwarf Shard in the end. It would be a hard-fought win. Shard's not going to go out like a complete chump, but I got to give it to Scourge.
Yeah, but Scourge is kind of like a wannabe Sonic. Like, he's like constantly annoyed that he's not actually Sonic or whatever. Like, he's very jealous of the real Sonic, I thought was his thing.
Yeah, so I guess it is a question of who jobs harder, the jobber or the jobber, but... Shard's also the, super cool robot that everybody loves. So having him lose to Scourge, number one, means you get to hate Scourge even more.
Right.
It makes enough sense legitimately because living Sonics do have a tendency to come out over robot Sonics. And you can get away with a whole bunch of really nasty battle damage because he's a robot.
True. That would be kind of cool. But then in their rematch,
Oh, yeah, in the rematch, Shard just absolutely stomps him because, you want it to begin with. But now he needs it. You just gotta see it happen. So, yeah.
And Scourge is too full of himself. He's overconfident because he won once. He's like, oh, yeah, this will be a cakewalk. I won the last time. You don't stand a chance.
Yeah, you have Scourge win the first time because... that's shocking, and that's the villain triumphing, and Shard is the tertiary character and therefore somewhat expendable, but he's also the fan favorite. So when he comes back into that square circle to reclaim the championship belt, you're like, yeah, I'll get him. It's all about pacing. It's all about escalation.
It's all about presentation. I love it. Here's a question from Andrew D. Ian, you talked about Miraculous Ladybug in the past, but I haven't heard you talk about it as of late. Are you all caught up or did you fall behind? Also, how would you handle a crossover between Miraculous Ladybug and Sonic the Hedgehog? Can you elaborate on some things, such as how Hawkmoth and Eggman might work together, or what Kwame, if any, of the Sonic cast might get? Would any of the Sonic cast get akumatized? Would Sonic learn Ladybug and Shanlor's identities and need to keep them a secret? I feel like there would be a lot of potential for crossovers between these two series. I'm pretty sure this has been a question on the show before, but I guess it's been a while.
First half.
I guess it's
not the first bit.
Okay, I guess it's been a while, and also Andrew, you paid for this, so.
I did kind of fall off the wagon. The episodic nature and the lack of any kind of meaningful progression kind of threw me off. Oh no, the episodic children's show didn't appeal to a 40-year-old. The shock and horror. I might pick up on it again later, but something's got to give with my schedule, and that had to be it. When they introduced Zoe very clearly just to replace Chloe and undo all of her character progression, is like, not wild about it. And then they absolutely got me with the anniversary episode where it's like, hey, something's actually going to progress. Oops, no, back to status quo. It's like, why did I fall for this? I should have known better. That's on me, honestly. But I don't know, overall, it is still a cute show. It's a fun premise, fun designs, fun powers. It's just, there's only so much I can keep up with. Crossover potential is absolutely there. They're, both bright, colorful, cartoony, high action, comedy, fun shows. Open the portal, Sonic drops into France, boom, there's your setup. Having his friends get akumatized and rescued throughout, that's more or less worlds collide and the Roboticizer Masters, let's be honest. And it works. It absolutely works. Can't remember if they had a super speed Kwame or which one he was, but toss that in there so Marinette can keep up, or have one of those moments where, oh no, Marinette is in danger, so Tiki and Sonic team up and you get your miraculous Hedgehog. And instead of throwing the yo-yo, he just spin dashes in the air and fixes everything, and it's something like that. Eggman and Hawkmoth, I feel like the inevitable villain team up would be something to be avoided this time, truth be told. I just feel like they wouldn't jive at all. Like, Eggman would not like the fact that he's in a hidden lair. Where's your giant base? Why are you not out there fighting directly? You need to be bigger, grander. You got a nice suit and all, but where's the showmanship? And Hawkmoth's like, no, I'm a manipulator. You do it from the shadows. You put yourself on the front lines, you're going to get your ass whooped. So they would bicker and fight, and Eggman would probably get akumatized because, let's be clear, he has a very fragile ego and a lot of negative energy in him.
No.
Although one might wonder just what an akumatized Eggman would be like. Would it just be Eggman all over again?
Eggman is very, very positive. He's always he's a positive thinker. I mean, that's the only way he could have lasted this long, because if he gave into the despair of negativity, he wouldn't be going after Sonic anymore.
True enough. Maybe he could just will his way out of the akumatization. And just for giggles, have the Death Egg robot stomping down the streets of Grand Paris, and Chat Noir runs up and cataclysms it first thing. Just that's the opening gambit for the spectacle. That'd be kind of fun.
Nice. Yeah, Sonic once again just works with everything. Just
pretty much.
Just kind of how it goes, I guess, with that guy. That's how he is. Here's a question from Arcfighter. We know Lanolin is sort of now an official background character, and the orangutan mechanic had a few speaking lines, with you considering the name Grease for him in an unofficial capacity. This got me looking for other background characters who seem to show up, and I noticed a red wolf / coyote who seems to appear alongside Lanolin very frequently. Do they have an unofficial name among the staff? They mostly appear in Adam Bryce Thomas issues, but have appeared in a few times outside of that, like The Big Short, where they tried to drag Big back into line to be checked for the virus.
I don't think so. That might be more of an Evan question, because I figure like that character would have shown up more in her run than mine. But I don't think so. I could be very wrong.
Well, maybe we'll find out one day. Who knows? Here's a question from Chaos Sonic 1. Battle of the Casino Gang Wars. Mammoth Mogul versus Breezy versus Clutch, with the Super Special Sonic Search and Smash Squad trapped in the middle of all three. Who wins, who falls, and who will get sent to jail? And how awesome would this have been? In all serious, no joke answers on this, as who does win or lose?
All things being equal, Clutch is just getting back in the game, and I think he's savvy enough to know that he's at the disadvantage. He has to gain territory, and he's not going to be able to do it easily with these two in the mix.
Right.
Mogul, while he certainly is powerful and influential, is still arrogant. He still has that air of, I am a conqueror. I will win. Whereas Breezy is far, far more savvy than he is. So while I think Clutch would be initially tempted to think about maybe allying with Mogul, he would do his research, realize Breezy's the smarter of the two, and make his play. She would know that he's, intending to take her empire immediately. But if there's another player in the game, she could use him to her advantage to finally muscle Mogul out of the crowd. And she would agree to his terms to a degree, just very carefully. Meanwhile, with all of this power struggle going on, Coconuts figures that this is finally his time to shine. He finally can rise to power and rallies the S6 as this kind of fourth faction, only to fail miserably at trying to play all 3, 4, 5 sides. He's lost count at this point. And they're the first to lose, let's be honest. Mogul would make some very impressive plays early on, especially when he realizes he's being put on the defensive. But his overcompensation in attempting to defeat his opposition would overextend himself, and the trap would be set, and he would be caught, framed, however it is they take him down. He would be next to go down. From there, it would be a very long, long simmer, as basically Breezy and Clutch kind of danced around the issue. He's trying to gain more influence. She's trying to undercut him the entire time, and it would reach a kind of equilibrium, I would imagine, until there comes a point where he has his territory, she has hers, and they both kind of mutually agree to not get in each other's way.
That sounds good to me. God, I freaking love Breezy. I like that she is a genius, effectively, like coming up with this stuff. Yeah. Yes. Very good, very good. You have chosen correctly, Mr. Flynn. You get to live another day. Here's a question from Konga. How canon is the Roboticizer to the current lore of Sonic? It's appeared a few times outside of the comics. The Vega machine and Bunny's cameo in Spinball, Robodillos in Chronicles, the machine in Lost World that Tails narrowly escapes, which also bears a striking resemblance to Uncle Chuck's Roboticizer from The Bell in the Machine, and robotomy treatment in Force's promotional material. Will we get to see the Roboticizer return to the comics, or is this one of those things that you can't answer right now?
I don't know. The degree of Spinball's canonicity is still questionable. I mean, it's in the timeline, but how much is being taken from it, I can't say for sure. Chronicles is right out. I would like to see a side-by-side of the Lost World and the Sad AM elements. I didn't pick up on that, so if anybody's got that handy, post links in the comments or something. I'd like to see that. That'd be neat. And I mean, it's effectively that, but it's not that by name. And I think that's the crux of all of this, is I don't know if the Roboticizer itself, as we recognize it, will ever see a legitimate appearance in the game canon. There's always stuff dancing around it, but I don't know if it itself by name and by deed will ever see the light of day again.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky. Here's a question from Dikama. People have already floated the concept of what if Scourge and Surge met, but how about this? What if Fiona and Surge met?
I feel like Fiona wouldn't particularly like Surge because she reminds him of all the traits she dislikes in both Sonic and Scourge, all rolled into one. And that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. And I don't see Surge having any particular interest in Fiona at all. Like, okay, she's a mean merc lady. Whatever, I can run rings around her. She is beneath me. Why should I care? But given the opportunity, if the two of them were able to, or were at least forced to talk it out to some degree, I think they'd find some mutual ground. And, if Fiona kind of played her card rights and became the idea guy between the two of them, and Surge became the, oh yeah, I like you the way you think, point me in the right direction so I can knock something down, without any of the problematic relationship issues that come up from Scourge, they could potentially become a dangerous duo. But there'd be quite the bridge to cross for them to even want to speak to each other, I think.
I like this. Someone do it. Make it happen. Here's a question from Dove. Let's say that Eggman got bored and decided to have a tournament of all his minions ever. Every iteration of Robotnik / Eggman. Every Badnik, Egg Robo, Swapbot, Scratch and Grounder, Hardboiled Heavies, Orbot and Cubot, Metal Sonic, etc. Every Badnik in a tournament for Eggman's amusement. Who wins, and why is it the humble Motobug?
Well, if we're talking minions, that excludes all the Eggmen. They're not minions.
Right.
They are miniors. Men of power.
Something like that.
I mean, if all the Eggmen are in the fight, then you can just ignore the robots. They're going to be the ones in the final round. So
yeah,
well, we'll exclude the Eggmen for this because it's already a ridiculously gigantic bracket here. Most of your standard Badniks are going to be taking each other out left, right, and center. Not a big deal there. Your more advanced ones, your super Badniks, your slightly heartier ones, your more aware ones, they're going to last a little longer. So the hard-boiled heavies are going to, outlast your standard Egg Robo. Your Snowy is going to outlast your average Grasshopper. Egg Hammer is going to be literally scraping other Badniks off its feet. And when it gets to the Robot Sonics, unfortunately, they and the other metals, like Metal Knuckles or Mecha Knuckles, maybe they don't enter the fight until later because otherwise it's just kind of a bloodbath. They're faster, they're better equipped. They're just going to destroy everything else. Like maybe Heavy King has the wherewithal to go, you know what, I'm just going to bow out before I get eviscerated. And then the rest of the hardball heavies are, sticking around to cover his exit. So maybe he doesn't get destroyed, but he ain't going to win this one. He ain't going to claim the crown. Would be worth it to see Mecha Mark II versus Metal Sonic. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Orbot and Cubot are kind of just pulling a R2-D2 and C-3PO running through the battlefields going, ah! I
was going to say,
they too manage to exit.
They're the comic relief, but they're fine because they're always fine.
And in the end, he's battered. He's missing a limb. He's probably going to need a few days in the shop, but Metal Sonic stands triumphant until his battery gives out. And then that little Motobug kind of just trundles out from behind the wreckage looking all very confused. And last one standing, he wins.
Of course it's the Motobug. I mean, he's just a little guy, man. He's just living his best life. That's good.
It's kind of like the hedgehog out of the end of Hot Fuzz.
Wow, what a coincidence. Yes. All right, we got a question here from Happy Times. With the way Surge says groovy in the latest comic preview, it got me thinking, is she an Evil Dead series fan? Does she identify too much with Bad Ash? Would Kit have to talk her down from replacing her hand with a chainsaw?
Now, truth be told, I've never seen the Evil Dead movies. All I know is like second and third hand appreciation of everyone else's fervor for the franchise.
Yeah.
That being said, if Surge thought she could reasonably replace one hand with a chainsaw and electrify it, Kit would have to quite bodily struggle to stop her from doing that.
But she would do it, or at least try to.
Yeah. Not, maybe a week after she's going, yeah, it's probably a good thing you did stop me, Drippy. Thanks for that. Meanwhile, Kit's trying to sew his arm back on where the chainsaw got him.
Oh, no. See, I thought she said groovy just because she liked Earthworm Jim. But groovy. I'm guessing she did not say it like that.
What is the color of Surge's red gun?
Yeah, pretty much. Jolene B has a question. We've had multiple questions about TMNT and Sonic crossing over, but we need to go more specific. I propose Rise of the TMNT versus Sonic Boom. Would Eggman be smitten with Big Mama? Would Bullhop befriend Dave the intern? Would Donnie critique Styx's surveillance network?
Of course he would. It's so rudimentary. Look at all these security holes in it. She's like, you're really good at locking other people like the man. Are you the man? I'm insulted by such an insinuation. I resemble that remark. Straight up, I think the easiest premise is that Big Mama starts another battle nexus and this time just pulls from the Sonic Boom universe. You got the Turtles, you got the main crew. They're fighting various cameo characters on both sides. Get yourself a mind-controlled Shadow in the mix just for funsies. Eggman being smitten with Big Mama. I could see it.
There would definitely be Leo and Sonic, comments about voice. It's like, you sound very familiar.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
You have to call out the oversight as muscular versions of Raph and Nux.
Yep.
And during the battle, April and Amy trade hammer for bat.
Oh, that would be good. This would be good. I'm liking this.
Partway through it, Sonic says, okay, wait. Something's not right here. We have the wisecracking blue one, that fits. We have the red berserker one, that fits. But your orange one isn't the smart one. Your purple one's the smart one. You got your colors all wrong.
Of course he would break the fourth wall. It's his thing. That's the whole Boom Cruise thing.
I mean, Rise did it a fair bit as well, so.
Yeah. Yep. But the Turtles had it first, technically. Yep. They were first. Sonic ruined it. But it is funny. It is a good joke. Oh, man. I would like to see this. Because literally Sonic could cross over with everything. No matter what incarnation of Sonic, and no matter what incarnation of anything else, you could pretty much have Sonic in anything. Man, it's so weird. Everything is canon, even the crossovers, except Watchmen. Can't cross over with Watchmen. Here's a question from Mobius. It's Sonic Battle Royale of every incarnation of Sonic. See? I told you, this is a versus heavy episode.
Yeah.
I'm not going to count pre-reboot Archie because he would annihilate everyone on the battlefield. Yeah, you're probably right. This battle includes Classic, Fleetway, Sat AM, Adventures of Sonic, OVA, Underground, Modern, X, Boom, and Movie Sonic. How would you rank each Sonic on who would last the longest in a Battle Royale?
Just in terms of raw feats, what we've seen them do.
I think Boom is the first to go.
He's pretty quick to go. OVA Sonic's quick to go. Sat AM, hate to say it, but if he ain't got a power ring, he ain't gonna last long. Would
you consider Adventures of and Sat AM and Underground the same Sonic?
We'll get, No.
Okay.
We'll get there.
I'll see to you.
Classic and Fleetway. I'm not super familiar with Fleetway's level, but assuming he can't just turn into Supersonic, they ain't gonna last as long because Modern and Movie are already kind of broken. X is sort of up there, but I think Movie and Modern have surpassed him to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a tight call between the three of them, but it's really starting to look like Modern and Boom. And then we have Adventures of.
Okay.
Adventures of Sonic plays by Looney Tunes logic.
Okay.
He is essentially Bugs Bunny with Sonic's power set.
Okay. You got me.
You can't beat that.
No.
That's terrifying.
Yep. So where's Underground Sonic in all of this?
Underground.
6 feet under? Just like the baby Sonic he
paved.
That got dropped.
No.
Then exploded.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, maybe he lasts longer if he's got his magic guitar, but nah. Nah.
Good. Yeah, this will be very good. Very funny. And our last question before we take a break is from Batman69 Lols Sub-Zero. What memes did Metal Sonic play during his defeat in Imposter Syndrome number 4 and watching Starline's death in number 50?
During his defeat, it's the old man shrugging, going, I guess I'll die then. And then with Starline's death, it's the guy in the suit crouching next to the grave, throwing up the fingers.
You know who that is, right?
No, I just know the meme.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's Grant Gustin, and that's the set of The Flash and the big crossover after Oliver Queen died in the Arrowverse. The Arrowverse. Yeah, apparently, like, the cast, like, or everyone hates the guy who plays Ollie, I think. It seems like it, because there's several pictures of that, of them all, like, crouched around doing that, doing stuff like that.
Goodness.
It's pretty funny, but I don't know if they actually hate him or what, but it seems like it's kind of weird. But it is very funny. I do love that meme. It is very funny. But it is also funny that it's the Flash throwing up a peace sign over over Oliver Queen's grave. That's a good one. Anyway, speaking of good ones, we're going to take a good break, and then we'll be back with more BumbleKast. We're back with a question from Noni. So seeing how being trapped inside a mystical mineral of some sort is just a thing in the Sonicverse, what's it like and how does it feel being trapped in one? Are you aware while you're in there? Or is it just like taking a nap or going into stasis?
I would hope it's peaceful. I imagine it's kind of meditative. Like, maybe you can be aware of the world around you if you so desire, but otherwise you are just at peace.
What about the egg grapes?
No. All you know is you can feel everything that makes you dying slowly and being pulled out of you in the most painful way possible.
Oh, that's nice. Here's a question from Pedanticat. Tangle and Whisper are tracking down Mimic with a lead, taking them to a bar in the snowy mountains to get information. However, after a misunderstanding, a brawl is about to break out until Tangle accidentally says a word in the local tongue that she doesn't know the meaning of, with it being revealed that Tangle has just issued a dance challenge. How do Tangle and Whisper fare in this dance battle? And what outdated song do they end up dancing to? The Wisps are allowed to participate in the dance as well. This is almost a fan idea if it weren't for the fact that it's literally just a scene from Sonic Movie 2.
Yeah. Tangle quite energetically leads them in the Macarena to Chumbawamba's I Get Knocked Down.
That song is called Tub Thumping, I'll have you know. Oh.
You know what? I could have looked this up beforehand and not looked like an idiot, but I decided to just go with it.
Well, that's what
I knew that wasn't the title.
That's what everyone calls it.
Because that's what gets ingrained in your head and you start chanting it.
I know. I also like how they're like, the songs are super outdated instead of just moderately outdated like Uptown Funk is. But
I mean, Tangle and the Wisps are really into it. Whisper is barely following along, just wanting to, turn into a singularity and disappear on the spot.
But then she eventually gets into it. Eventually. Takes her a long time. And then after that, she snipes everyone. We got a question from Scurvy Pirate Dog. How do you handle writing characters you really hate? Reason I ask is because I've experienced writers who have been open about hating certain characters, and it really shows in the writing of said character, which I personally find a bit unprofessional, as I'm someone who feels every character has its fans, something a writer should keep in mind. And through your writing, I don't think I've ever seen your opinions reflect how you write certain characters, like with your writing of Chris in the Sonic X book. This is something I personally think should be appreciated and is professional when writing, so I'm just curious, how do you handle it when you have to write a character you hate or dislike?
First, let's just be clear. My vitriol towards characters like Marine or Chris is mostly hyperbole, just because it's fun to act scandalized or indignant over a fictional character, and it's being silly. It's turned up to 11 for the sake of the ha-has.
Some people really take it a bit seriously. There's also people who legitimately like hate characters with a passion and fictional characters with a passion, and it's like, calm down.
I can't think of any character that I actually like loathe, like at least within Sonic, where it's like I don't want to be associated with this. Ugh.
Right.
Even characters like Drago, who were just scumbags. That's fine. They exist to be scumbags. You don't really care when bad things happen to them. That's fun. That's the Schadenfreude. Just, they're there to be bad and get their comeuppance. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And as you said, every character is somebody's favorite. So I do try to, if I'm going to put somebody through the ringer, like Drago, I want there to at least be a reason for it, and I want it to be entertaining. I want them to at least have it coming. Don't just throw them under the bus for the sake of knocking the tires out of alignment. Give a reason for it. Why is he deserving of the bus? So I feel like if you're just going to be awful towards a character because you personally dislike it, that's a lazy approach. That doesn't do anything for the character. That doesn't do anything for the narrative. You're just being self-indulgent, and especially on a licensed book, that's not your place to do it. You're playing in somebody else's playground. So if you are writing for somebody and one of the characters in your toolbox is just someone you cannot stand for whatever reason, but you have to use them, I would say try to step back and look at what purpose they serve. Like, don't look at them as the individual that you have an issue with. Look at them as the tool in your toolbox. What do they serve narratively? How are they related to the cast of characters, and what function do they serve? How are they a foil? How are they an antagonist? How do they inspire action or inaction amongst the others? What have they done up to this point to establish who they are and why you dislike them so much? And I feel like if you take that step back and understand them, at least in that regard, you know how to utilize them. And you don't necessarily have to like it, but it's like cooking with an ingredient you don't like. You're not going to eat it necessarily. You're preparing this for someone else. So do a good job with what you have.
Yeah. I can't say really add much else other than, find something that you do like about the character. And if there really well and truly is nothing, then, well, just deal with it. like, you're stuck with them. Make the best of it. Here's a question from Sequoia. Since Mimic is a mercenary, do you think he would currently accept any work if he were offered it, or is he more focused on doing his own thing and tracking down Whisper?
He's pragmatic. He's got to eat, so he'll do work if he needs to do it.
Why? There's no money. I'm not making fun of you, Ian. I'm making fun of SEGA. I know. It's tiring. It's exhausting. Imagine how I feel. Or don't.
The horse is dead. We don't have to keep beating it.
I think we do. That's the whole point.
You're going for that glue bottle, eh?
That's the whole point of this show, right? I mean, we've been beating the dead horse for the last 7 years nearly. So, yeah. Here's a question from Sonic. Yeah, okay, you've been kind of vague about it. There is no split into separate two separate timelines / dimensions after generations, all right? No alternate timeline where Sonic Mania happens. Mania is just part of modern Sonic's past. And it's just one timeline in one dimension where all events from the games, including Mania, happen right now. Or am I wrong? Please clarify.
I can't. That I've said as much as I can say, but you seem to have understood it all, so we're just gonna kind of smile and nod.
A knowing smile, perhaps.
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 Indeed.
Yeah.
Perchance.
Fascinating. Here's a question from Sterling. Now that we have seen a glimpse of Sonic's moveset in Frontiers, and he plans to update his repertoire of moves in the comic?
I probably can't really comment on that at this juncture. Suffice to say, it's up to SEGA. If they want him to have those moves later on, then sure. If not, then no.
Knowing Smile says what? Here's a question from Shakira Law. Why did Tails go back to being Sonic's friend after Fiona / House of Cards?
Well, at the end of House of Cards, you see them starting to talk it out. That there is issues that need to be resolved and that they acknowledge that, but that, at the moment, bigger things are going on and they have to focus on that. The implication being that they continue to talk and settle things afterwards. Would it have been nice to actually dwell on that a bit? Sure. Would we have time to have done it? No, because we went on to other stuff, unfortunately. But, House of Cards was rushed overall.
And I mean, Sonic and Tails are buddies. They're brothers, They can be reasonable and reconcile things after, a heated
Well, yeah, they've
issue,
been through
they've been through
a lot by that point.
Right. Yeah.
And they hit a very bad patch and friends fight, so.
Yeah, they can both be mature sometimes, occasionally, here and there.
It reached a tipping point, and they worked through it.
Right. And they are stronger afterwards for it. Maybe. I'll leave that up to you to decide. Here's one from Verdragon5. Who would win in a fight, Surge and Kit or Monkey D. Luffy? To even the playing field a bit, let's say this fight is taking place in an industrial setting on dry land, like one of Eggman's complexes.
I know diddly squat about One Piece outside of Monkey is very stretchy, and he might have other stretchy transformations? ? I don't know his power level. I don't know his range. I don't know his moves. I don't know what all he can do. But from my limited understanding, given the longevity of the series, he seems to be an incredibly powerful and resilient individual. Big emphasis on the resilience. So if anything, he might just be able to outlast Surge and Kit and eventually stomp them through the power of anime.
Apparently he is literally rubber, I guess, and electricity has no effect on him.
Oh, well.
I think that would considerably change things. But he can't swim. So water could be his downfall. This is what I'm receiving from the chat, by the way. So any of this is wrong, blame them, not me. I'm just a messenger.
It does beg the question if Kit can produce enough water to drown or contain Luffy, because this is an industrial setting on dry land, as was established.
Right.
But if Luffy is stretchy enough, he could get outside of the bounds of said presumed water bubble. And what's Kit going to do at that point,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a question of if Surge's spin dash or if Kit's hydrokinesis can pierce his rubbery hide, but I don't think it could because again, very surface level understanding of the series, but I'm pretty sure he can bounce just about anything back.
He's a tire. He's a population tire. But apparently he's also not very smart, so I don't know. Neither is Surge, really. I don't know. You guys are going to argue with this amongst yourselves. I know nothing. All I know is I'm just amazed they still haven't found the one piece. Like, how hard could it be? It's only one piece. Here's a question from Windstar Osprey. On a less disgusting note, I don't know what was disgusting previously, but sure. Just for fun, what are the Diamond Cutter's favorite genres of music, groups, or songs? I personally see Whisper and Mimic listening to Heart and the Beatles, respectively. Always the one you least suspect. And I'm just going to say, Whisper sneaking around, picking off Badniks to the tune of Barracuda. Yes, please. Sign me up. I want this. Sounds awesome.
I feel like you would be better equipped to answer this one because you're more musically educated than I am.
If I knew more about the Diamond Cutters, maybe. So we're kind of like split on this one, I guess.
The blind leading the blind. Like Smithy, I could see maybe being into kind of industrial stuff. He likes the sound of metal put to a beat.
Okay.
Claire could be kind of new agey trance stuff. She's into that kind of droney, lose yourself in the moment type of music.
Synthwave.
Sure.
I don't know. It gets droney sometimes.
Slinger, I don't know. Somebody opened the Metal Gear Solid weekend. What does Revolver Ocelot like to listen to? I mean, let's call a spade a spade.
Sure, why not? I don't know. Let me see. I'm curious now.
Spaghetti Western movie soundtracks have a genre?
Yes, they're called Ennio Morricone.
Really?
Well, I mean, that's...
Not as a movie genre, a music genre.
Well, I mean, he's the composer of a lot of Westerns.
All right, there you go.
He's Italian. He was extremely good at what he does. Good in the bad and the ugly. He's a genius, one of the best movie songs ever composed. So, yeah. We'll go with that. Here's a question from The Cartoonist. Out of the old school Looney Tunes cartoons, do you guys have any particular favorites that just make you chuckle even thinking about them? Like Wabbit Season, Duck Season, or Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century? Unless you never saw them, which is fine.
Any classic Chuck Jones Daffy Duck cartoon is gold.
The one of Daffy versus the animator is still
Duck Amuck.
Brilliant, yeah. Just
surrealist comedy at its finest. And I wish I could remember the title of the Bugs Bunny follow-up. That's basically the same premise.
Mm-hmm.
But both of those are great. Robin Hood Daffy is perhaps the pinnacle of comedic achievement by the human race. I mean, good Lord. Yoinks and away! Hits every tree down. Gets to the final one. Fumes. Chops it down into a nice, gradient. Swings down, is so self-satisfied, hits that rock with perfect timing. And the sheriff just goes trotting by. Oh my God. Every time. Every time.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, they all kind of run together, but just about any Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote thing.
Yes. Yes.
Again,
absolutely.
Classic Chuck Jones.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. I do quite love those.
Although there was one bit out of the newer ones that they made that I felt like a lot of the newer stuff was just trying to emulate what came before. And I mean, how many sight gags can you come up with? But Wiley paints the photorealistic tunnel wall and Roadrunner goes through it and he's startled, of course. And then he runs in and it's the tunnel. And he's so confused. And so he tries to walk back to the starting point and now he's stuck in the painting. And now he's two-dimensional and he can't figure it out.
Oh, man. You know what? You know what's a really good one? The Michigan J Frog sketch. The one where he only sings and dances for one guy. Anybody else sees him, he's just a regular frog.
Chuck Jones yet again.
It's a brilliant piece of animation. Just absolutely, just so much of these So much genius.
There's the one where it's an extended dark humor gag, but what are they called? Morty and Birdie, a couple of mice who break into a cheese festival and eat their way through every piece of cheese, and they become so disgusted at the sight and smell and taste of cheese that they decide it's time to end it all. So they try to get a cat to eat them.
Mm-hmm.
But why would mice want to be eaten? Something's rotten in Denmark. And so it's this constant chase of them trying to get the cat to eat them, and the cat is resisting, so he goes to the big dog to be destroyed by the dog. And the dog doesn't want to do it because why would a cat want to get massacred by the dog? And the mice are trying to climb in the cat's mouth. They're like, eat us, no, and just the reaction shot of the dog. And so he lines them all up, and he's sitting there with an accounting machine. Okay, so cat wants to get massacred by dog. Type. Mice wants to be eaten by cat. Type. But cat don't want to eat mice. Type. And mice don't want to eat cheese. Type. Calculate. Pulls out the receipt. It just don't add up.
Man, I haven't watched some of these in forever, but they're just so freaking great. Like the one where where Bugs takes a left turn at Albuquerque and ends up in a bull ring.
Or in one of the duck season rap season ones,
yep,
where Daffy just finally loses it.
Yep.
Shoot me! I'm an elk. It's elk season. Shoot me! I'm a fiddler crab. It's fiddler crab season. I love the smell of gunpowder and carbine. And Oliver goes to Bugs in disguise. Mr. Game Warden, I've been told it's all sorts of seasons. What season is it really? Why, it's baseball season.
Oh, man. Oh, geez. Brilliant stuff. Thank you, as a cartoonist, for bringing this up, because, God, so much fun. But we have one last question before we head on out of here, and it's from Professor Rye. It's time for the definitive bout. Who wins in a fight between Goku and also Goku? Would it be Goku? Or perhaps Goku would surprise us? With power levels so nebulously large, it's any Goku's game. Goku? Goku.
Well, are we talking current Goku versus Dragon Ball Goku? Because,
oh no, he's taking this seriously.
Kid Goku. Hey, man. Gotta drive those metrics.
Oh no.
Kid Goku, he's not even remotely in the same power level as present Goku. And I'm talking Dragon Ball, not GT, because clearly that's a different kind of Kid Goku. But even then, would we argue that he's on the same level as current Goku? But what about Super Saiyan 4 Goku? Is that comparable to Ultra Instinct? I would argue no. But that's way open to interpretations, because GT may still possibly be canon. I don't think so. I think they've pretty clearly sailed well past that island, but still.
All right, I think you've had enough.
I
think you've had enough. I think it's time to move on to the end of the show and to thank everybody who makes it possible.
Unless we are to consider Goku black.
No, he's not black. Have you seen him?
He really
doesn't look black.
Just the outfit.
He doesn't look black at all. He's not. No.
He wasn't even like extra tanned.
No, he's not.
I'm not being facetious. I mean the actual character.
I do too.
Okay.
I think it's time for this to end.
I suppose. And give a big thank you to all the folks who support the show over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, our YouTube members, and our good friend Goku. Big thank you to Daniel H., Alex B., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Robotnik, Holmes, Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Torchbound, Mike B., Dave M., Coupling Crew 128, Salute Your Cat, Andrew D, J Frost, Duas Diz Din, Hero of Light 13, Professor Scruffy Matt, Ryan D, Chris A, Sony, Noni, John M, Jib, Don B, Yami M, Lee HK, Lisa M, Fiona M, Chevelle, Invade Turbo Tunis, Sonic, Ben W, Keeper of Monsters, Axis, Tick Tick, Scurvy Pirate Hog, Xanderoni the Painter, Final Neil, Jonathan just really likes Princess Sally, The Name is X, Justin S, Solaris Stain, Nimmerk, Godzilla, Arc Fighter, Dabbler the Dalek, Chaos Universe, Sonic Legacy, Ava Arctic, Pedanti Cat, Dove, Quaggle Gaggle, Professor Rye, Red the Supernamic, Nodal, Cameron H, Chad Les, Jennifer H, Just a Mountain Soul, Sapphire Scarletta, Alphamon Oryukin, Joshua S, Omega Watt, Finest Cacophony, Preston M, Starlight Sec, Jolene B, Sonic 84, Noah S, Alex GS, Kojiro Highwind, Dapper Shinks, Supersonic Fan, Awesome Cakester, Radry, Chase L, Ty H, Callan Q, Twilord, Red Wolf, Nabius, Cosmic Cooking Hunter 77, and Tails, Derucible, Maddie H, The Disgain, KJB, John the Real Waluigi, In Zephyr Wild 48, Mox T Ranger, The Marble Gardener, ONBD, Vlad of the Stars, Chaos Sonic 1, Miles the Prower, Navarre, Exidel, Agent Kaz, P4 Sonic Fan, Puppy the Scholar, Rhythm Raccoon, Miggy Sawdust, Pig Dan, Ty Cyan, Lewis J, Michael P, Delta God 77, Curly Quills, Oz Jam, Shimmy M, Angela V, Fang the Werehog, Mr. Murderbird, the Giant Murdering Bird, Stupid Ugly, Classic Sonic, Nova Poly Duo, Chaos Shadow, Timon B, Thievius, Smiley 21, The Flower Garden, Sammy S, Lacey M, Unlikely Veronica Phi, Starling Sonic, Sonic Underground, Conga, Shakira Law, Rocket Man, Windskull, Delontai, Sky the Desu, Supernova, Indabin, Superior Pizza, Sonic Patch, Tetsu Knife, Thigolf, Crabo, Sonic Mania 2099, Hadronis, Nails, Degama, Happy Times, Fair Dragon 5, Butter Noodles, Miles Prower D, Peter M, Frost the White Lion, Danny the Light, Ryoko Xion, Metamode, Wheels 282 Hedgehog, and Jamal S.
Thank you, Goku, for your support.
That's going to wrap us up for this edition of the BumbleKast. We will see you next time for more Q&A of all sorts of varieties. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we'll see you next time.
And we'll hopefully never see Goku again. No, we will. I'm being asked if we can get a Goku-based episode. No! Goku is not based, he is cringe. Goku guest episode featuring Goku in real life. No. No more Goku. Hi.
And it's a Kyle.
I'm here. Yeah. I've been here for a minute, but you were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt. For once.
I wasn't saying much of consequence.
Well, I mean, I never do, so it's all good. Sorry I'm a little late.
No worries.
Had to take care of some stuff, so everything's good, but...
Did you sufficiently hide the bodies?
I hope so.
Okay.
We'll see, won't we? We'll find out. I've already seen comments of people saying you're going off your rocker and you're too obsessed with Sonic because you're doing this, because you agreed to do this, and I'm like, we're just having fun, like.
Yeah,
it's like it's not that serious.
If you think it's cringe, you're like wrong.
No.
Don't listen to it.
No.
You didn't pay for it. You're not enjoying it, so go elsewhere.
The BumbleKast is cringe, man. That's our whole point. That's our whole deal.
Hashtag Bumble cringe.
Cringe can be fun, Jams. They're not mutually exclusive. Repeat to yourself, this is just a show. You should really relax. Oh, boy. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
I feel like the big one's not going to be that labor intensive. Maintaining that voice is a lot easier than Starline. And if I have to improv, the awkward silence of him contemplating is in character.
I worry about like accidentally slipping into his voice myself. And I don't want to like patronize him or something, you know? That's mean to him. He's a good
you
boy.
You mocking me, boy?
He's a good boy.
Gonna slap that impertinence right off your face. You gonna eat that cornbread?
That's a different voice, Ian. That's not big anymore.
Yeah, no, I know.
Big is real and strong, and he's my friend. That's right, Kaz. He's all our friends.
Big is a friend to all.
Yes, it's true. As you should be. Except to fish. But that's okay. They have no feelings. That's why it's okay to eat them.
No, Big's helping the fish. They'll drown.
Okay.
But he's always too late. Because they always die.
I don't think that's it.